Hi Lorraine, really good session today. Hope you found it helpful. Just going to run through what we discussed there from the session now in terms of why these shots sort of hooking to the left, especially on holes like 8. As you mentioned, if we look here on this left-hand picture or left-hand video, setup's very good. Takeaway to here now is pretty good, but what's tending to see in the swing now is not really much rotation with this right shoulder and right hip. We tend to get a bit of a lifting up here now with the arm, so not really getting the club what we call far enough behind us. Club's quite close to your head now. As you start coming back down, that club now is coming down, we call it a little bit steep, and therefore across the line, swinging the golf club to the left. What you then had to do was try to use your elbow to sort of like block it forward, as we said. And we saw that kind of like chicken wing movement post impact. So if we go back to that top of the backswing so we can get a comparison, if you look now at this right hand one where we turn better, look at the left hand spot there, same good setup, same good takeaway now as the club goes back. As we get to here now, this right hip, right shoulder, we're going to keep moving, and look at the difference in where this club is now. Much further behind you, much more extension now with that lead arm. Just in a much better position now. So as we start coming back down with the angle in our wrist, as we talked about, we can keep the angle here now in the wrist really, really nice. That club now coming down sort of through your right bicep, much more in line now with this sort of right forearm. If we just draw this line here now, we see the club shaft now and your right forearm nicely in line, coming into the hitting area. Club now working into the golf ball from a much better path here, striking that golf ball towards the target nicely. So it's working on that backswing, getting that club working sort of behind you more as you turn the body, rotate the hips and that shoulder in the backswing. And then as we keep that angle down for a little bit longer, we can work on this motion. This is the key motion as you come back down, and you can literally, as this video is doing now, so just keep repeating this movement over and over and over again. Just get that sensation, that club sort of being maintained with the wrist hinge. We're not sort of throwing the club, as we discussed, not casting the club out. We're just bringing the club down. So when your hands get now down sort of level with your shoulders here, that club is still back up here, pointing up to the sky. Club shaft, you can see pointing down towards that golf ball. So hope that all makes sense. Any questions, obviously give me a shout, and I'll see you in that lesson. Cheers, Lorraine.